Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition here of the PiGosaur Cup. PiGosaur Cup number 77. I'm of course just VIP with you, joined by these amazing players and by the people in chat as well. Welcome. One and all. Do apologize for going live a little bit late here in regard to the broadcast, but we are here. We are live. We are jumping into the quarterfinals. Exclamation mark B. Exclamation mark B in the chat. If you guys want to have a look at yourselves, let us catch up ourselves on the progression of the tournament. Let's go. Again, we are going live an hour later than the tournament start, so as you can see here, we already went through the round of 32. The round 32 and the round 16 are concluding, and we are jumping into the quarterfinals. Beyond took down Chovka, took down Hapsaya, and Beyond is waiting already in the semifinals for the winner of this series, for the winner of Cure versus Cham. That's going to be our matchup. Cure versus Cham into Beyond into the upper semis or the grand finals. So that is going to be our trajectory for today's broadcast. Let's go. Let's jump in. Let us jump in. For those that are curious, for those that are unaware, I did mention in the chat earlier that the reason why we went live a little bit late is because GSLCK did end very late last night, or really this morning, and I was trying to get as much sleep as possible, a little bit more sleep, but some time to get some food as well before jumping into the broadcast. So I did decide to go live a little bit late here, but we're ready. We are geared up to go into a long night of StarCraft. Let's go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. Oh, representing Team Liquid, it is Cure. Not repping Team Shin or Team Rogue. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the we have the Mexican Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Xeratus Esports. It is Cham. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we delve into our best of 3. Let's go, Bible, let's go. Coming into this, Cure is the heavy favorite. That is true, but Cham, he is one that can cause these upsets. He's one of the best players in all of Latino America, and we'll see if he does pull a fast one over on Cure. Cham has been very diverse in his play, has been very aggressive as well, very roach heavy is typically what we expect out of Cham, and we'll see what he brings to the table here in this fresh series. Meanwhile, Cure across the map, 2x Reaper. 2x Reaper out of our Terran player, opening up in a much more aggressive fashion to apply pressure, to try to contain his opponent and to force 2-base play out of Cham. The issue here is that I feel like Cham enjoys 2-base play, so I can already see him going into 2-base roaches and potentially even going for an all-in. We'll see. As my apologies, this is not 2x Reaper, it's 2x Marine. Gases were delayed. Okay. So later gas geysers here. Instead, it's going to be a 2-on-1 variation. Technically, this can turn into a 3x or a 4x. So we'll see how many raxes get thrown down, or if the factory gets thrown down behind this instead. So this is a greedy build. When I say greedy, no SV Scout, no Reaper Scout either. Bear that in mind. These Marines, their goal is to hunt down the Overlord, and we could send out an SCV, and if we do send out a worker, the goal should be to set up a bunker outside of the third, and then rally Marines across the map. As they do cash out a first Overlord. Bam! Yeah, first Overlord goes down. And again, we'll see if we apply pressure to the third expansion. As Cham, he does expand here on the right-hand side. Eyes are on these Marines. And yep, here comes the move out. These Marines shouldn't get much damage, but they will force out units. Oh, I have to get rid of that. Again, for those who weren't here last night, we were live casting GSLCK. I was being live casted over on Soup, and we should be featuring the rebroadcast on Twitch and YouTube in a couple of days. Tomorrow, I say a couple of days, but tomorrow should be rebroadcast. Usually we rebroadcast it the day after. So right now, for example, would be the rebroadcast. But of course, we're casting PiGosaur Cup, right? And we didn't want to go over PiGosaur Cup or anything like that. So I believe we're not going to be clashing with anything tomorrow. So tomorrow is going to be the rebroadcast instead. Tonight, of course, is going to be Kung Fu Cup. For those that are aware, we were going to be covering the TLMC finalist later on tonight, but we don't have access to the spreadsheet with all the judge scoring yet, so we will be postponing that for Friday, most likely. Otherwise, I'm moving out. Here we go. So Link Speed is almost done. Cham is moving out across the map. Can he catch these Marines ahead of time? Can he lock them down? Oh, so far there's a full wall. Okay, there's that full wall off. Marines, they do break out. Nice surround, and we surround the next pack of Marines, actually. Okay, not a bad trade here by Cham. He cleans up every single Marine. Yeah, Curie gets baited out. He gets baited out into the open, which means we can deny Stim. Wow, Stim is going to be denied. Bunker's going to be thrown down. It's going to be close. Oh, can he save it? No, he can. The repair. Oh my god. Barely does repair. He will save Stim. Behind this, I was curious, do we have any extra Raxes? And we do. Third Rax. 3 Rax Stim timing. What is meant to be a heavy bio push, but upon losing all those Marines, upon losing 12 Marines already, I mean, that takes away a lot of the bite here behind this timing attack. And yeah, Cure, there's a chance here that he might not hit it. He might not hit that timing attack anymore. With Stim finishing, he might be forced to just stay at home. Cham, he now has the opportunity to drone up, expand, saturate, double Evo chamber, double upgrades. I'm a little bit surprised we're not going for the Roach Horn here. I thought it was going to be a Roach Horn, not Evo chamber. Ooh, 1-1 upgrade. So my concern here about going into 1-1 is that this is for a very heavy Ling Bane composition. It's for a very heavy lava intensive composition, right? It takes a lot of lava to build up Ling Bane, and for the third base to be delayed and for the economy and for the production to be less than ideal, it's a little bit concerning. We'll see if he can build up. We'll see if Cham can actually amass an army large enough to deal with the eventual move out, because here comes Cure. And again, Banelings are not online. So Banelings, they will not factor in. If we had if we had the earlier Roach Horn, then we could be making Roaches right now to shut this down. So it's going to be a tough hold here for Cham. It's going to be tough. Earlier, Cham, he was surrounding Marines and shutting them down. True, but they didn't have Stim. Stim is a big factor here, and Stim now is complete. We do see the army poking in. It does get eyes on creep, but does not push on. It doesn't push in. Cham gets a 4th expansion, and Cham, he defends. He defends, he gets away with it. I do think that Cure could have applied pressure, either pushing in between the bases or pushing towards the 3rd expansion. But no, Cure, he does play it safe. He does reinforce, actually. More Marines are on the way. Does catch out the active tumor. Holding on to Stim. Ooh, Cham is going to get caught out. Yeah, here go the reinforcements. Cham, he fails the surround. Yeah, we spoke about this. No Roaches, no Banelings. Yeah, Cham is in danger. He has to race all the way back. Banelings now morphing in, but these are going to be slow Banes. They should be targeted down, and we can just Stim. We can just Stim, and we can win. And 1, 2, 3, 4 Banelings going to be focused down, and there's nothing. There's nothing here. The man with gun is just too good. Breaks through the defensive line, gets into the mineral line as well. Every drone will fall. The upgrades, they do not matter. They do not matter here. As I mentioned, this was just too greedy. It was just too greedy going double Evo chamber. Upgrades are denied, and natural goes down. The army is a little bit overstimmed, but it's fine. It's perfectly fine. Oh my god, Stim's in once again. So heavily overstimmed. The target firing. Does focus on a couple of Banelings, gets cleaned up, the damage has been done. He was able to wreak havoc, he killed the mineral line, killed the expansion, killed most of the Ling Bane as well. GG gets cold, and Cure takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Now we'll very quickly clear up that logos mod. We are indeed not casting GSLCK. Beautiful. Okay, just clearing things up, and also I should set up my VPN as well. True. Un momento. Just getting everything sorted. ¿A dónde está el chanchito? There we go. As we load into game 2 here again, Cure, he does take lead in the series. As we mentioned, it was quite greedy for Cham to go for a Ling defense and to stay on Zerglings, to go double Evo chamber. Very, very greedy. To be fair, part of this greed is also because Cham didn't scout the natural. What do I mean by that? Well, Cham, he knew about the 2-1-1. He didn't know about the 3-1-1. He did not scout the 3rd Rax behind the natural. So I'm sure the amount of Marines did surprise him, as this was a heavier bio setup. A heavier bio push. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be loading into game number 2. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Meanwhile, big shout out to Unwise Elder. God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing with Twitch Prime for the first time. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the content, the casting, and the StarCraft. Thank you, thank you. As we are jumping into our first series, hope you enjoy the emotes in the chat. We have some lovely duck-related emotes, and also I hope you enjoyed the replay packs. If you are not a part of our Discord server, we do share replays with our subscribers and with our patrons as well. So if you want replay packs from tournaments we do cast and we do cover, then that is available via Patreon. Patreon as well. Oh, sorry, via our Discord server, if you do join us. Otherwise, here we go. We're jumping into game number dos, and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure, leading the series 1-0, and spawning in the top left-hand corner. He's going for the same setup, by the way. In the top left-hand corner, we have the Mexican Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Xeritus Esports down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back. It is Cham. And this time we see earlier gases compared to last game. So I believe this time it should be Reaper. Last time the gas was delayed, which is what led into 2-Rax Marine. This time gases earlier should be 2-Rax Reaper, something that we're a little bit more accustomed to. This should be more active and more aggressive early on. And again, this may prompt 2-base play out of Cham. So we do have a very different kind of a tempo build here from Cure. So here come the Reapers. So very quickly to explain the purpose of the build here. So 2-Rax Reaper, the goal here is to build up 3 Reapers. 3 Reapers, you can commit a little bit harder, but that does complicate things. For the most part, 3 Reapers is all you need. To do what? To apply pressure, to pick up some Zerglings, and to deny the third expansion. To catch the drone that attempts to expand, to contain the Zerg player on 2 bases for a little bit longer, to delay their economy, delay their production, and to disrupt their early game. That's usually the goal. Is usually the goal. So here comes the first, here comes the second, here comes that third Reaper. Behind this you just expand. Behind this you just expand. Again, it is a macro build. Get your own natural. Now there are more all-in variations where instead of going for a CC, you get a hidden third Rax and you go mass Reaper. That's true. Like, that is a viable option here, and that is going to be available here to Cure. It's going to be on Cham to figure out which one it is. As first Reaper does arrive. Ooh, and we can see that Cure is actually making a 4th Reaper. Okay, so he's committing a little bit harder. He might still cancel. But for now, 3 Reapers, they move out across the map. Baneliness gets thrown down. He's forcing a Bane Bust. Okay, so Cham is going all in. You can see Cham, he's getting Link Speed. He's staying in gas. He's going for the Bane Bust. Now, the reason why Bane Bust and Roach all-ins are very common, there's that denial of the third. But the reason why this is so common is because you're going for a 2-Rax opener. You're going for the command center. The factory is late. It is a late factory, and it's going to be factory into 3rd CC as well. So very greedy follow-up here. But because the factory is delayed, this means that Hellion production is delayed as well. And without Hellions, Link Bane can excel and can bust down that front door and can kill. Now, if Cure fails to scouts, then he could be caught this pants down. If he gets behind the mineral line, ooh, as the scout is denied. But if he can get into the main base, if he can confirm that a Bane Bust is coming, then he can react with bunkers, right? Bunkers would be ideal. Throw down a couple of bunkers here on the low ground, and then you can easily defend. But Cure has to realize what's going on first, because so far he does not know. So Cure Link Speed is revealed, which is normal. Kite attack against the Zerglings. Baneliness is hidden. Here comes a Link Flood. Here comes a Bane Bust. And again, Cure is unaware. So honestly, there's a high chance of this working. Very, very high chance. He has to break through that front door, flood it with Lings. We do have a safety bunker on the way, so Cure, he's playing it safe. He failed to scout, but he does feel like something's a little bit off. But is this too late here? Bunker is still on the way. Likewise, Cure has to make sure this Hellion doesn't get surrounded. There's one Hellion to defend. Hellion is revealed. Bunker is almost done. Wow, it's going to be done in time. The blind bunker. He spots. He knows. Yeah, he does spot. He does know. Does fully wall off. Hellion shot goes off. He does re-wall. Ooh, he fails to re-wall though. Yeah, Link Bane does rush in. Boys are being pulled. And they try to repair. Yeah, they go for the repair. Hellion gets surrounded. Yeah, no control of the Hellion. Hellion goes down, but it looks like Cure is barely holding. Baneling connects. Yeah, Baneling crashes in, and we're still flooding. We're still flooding Lings across the map, and Cham, he has done it. He has broken the natural base. Everything will go down. Stim is going to be denied. There is... The boys are being pulled. Okay, can we save this? Can we save it? No, the boys. Yeah, boys are being pulled into Mass Ling. And even if Stim finishes, it does not matter. We have one Hellion on the way. Remember, this was a 3rd CC before Starport, so greedier build. There's one Hellion to defend, and Cham has done it. We're going to the ace match. We're going to the ace match here. Cure, he had one blind bunker, but again, if he had realized what was going on, there would have been a re-wall. There would have been a secondary wall. If you remember, Cure, he did misplace. GG gets called, and Cham, he does tie the series. We're going to the ace match. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, the Bane Bust here is a common response here to a 2x Reaper, just because your factory is late, right? Your factory is late, your Hellions are delayed, and as we saw, Cure failed to scout the main base. So he did have a safety bunker, but he did not have a secondary wall behind the original wall, and he, of course, did not have a second bunker either, which all could have been afforded if there was no third CC. Remember, he was going for a third command center behind all of this because he assumed it was going to be a macro game. So he was getting ready for a longer kind of game state, core his pants down. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting into game number 3, going to be loading into Washout. Here we go. Alright, loading into Washout here. As we are getting ready here for that ace match. Now, I would imagine that after what just happened here, either Cure is not going to go 2x Reaper, or if he does, he's going to be a little bit more adamant about scouting, and he's going to be more kind of locked in. Wait, should we know who that is? Here we go. So we're getting into the ace match. Fun fact, I think we have all the casters here, by the way. I'm hoping that someone's covering the hero matches on the top side, but I cannot confirm. We have ourselves, we have El Chanchito, we have Enki, and we have El Palmioja. I think Hapsaya also casts. I think if he gets knocked out of the tournament, I think he also does cast as well. I think Pacheca's casting. True. It's a Pacheca. Yeah, she's covering Juanito. Okay. So she's casting some of the other matches. But here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Washout, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Liquid. It is Cure. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the Mexican Zerg representing Exertus Esports. It is Cham. So yes, they're topping in the chat. What happened? I just left for a minute. Oh no, you missed the Bane Bust, papi. Yeah, Cham, he did go for a Bane Bust reaction to the 2x Reaper of Cure. Did react with a Bane Bust, and we'll see how our players open up this time. As for the first time in the series, standard wall off here by Cure. Standard opener, nothing crazy, nothing wild. Racks expand into factory into Reaper Hellion. Okay. So everything's looking normal. Welcome to Washout. So Washout is one of the, I want to say a bit of a larger map. Likewise, when it comes to the rush distance by ground, it is going to be extended as the game goes on as we knock down these rocks. But I'll be honest, we have yet to experience any kind of mid to late game on Washout. So curious to see how it does pan out. Curious to see how our players will approach this. Let's go. Let us go. Fun fact, Washout did make it into the top 16. True. Did make it into the top 16 of the Team Liquid map contest. We'll be going over those finalists most likely in 2 days' time. 2 days' time. As I mentioned before, we're just waiting to get the condensed summary spreadsheets with all the judge comments, not just our comments, but also the other judges as well. I'm really curious to see what others did, kind of how they ranked some of these maps, their feedback, their comments, and we'll be providing all of that in a couple of days. So we'll get there. Of course, we have our own thoughts on each of these maps, each of the top 16, but it would be really interesting to hear what some of the other judges thought, their perspectives, of course. Bring that all to the table. So now we do have our third CC before Starport. Economic build here by Cure. Everything's looking normal, everything's looking as it should be. Likewise, a third hatchery out of Cham. So a hatch gas pool into a third base. Cham, he pulls out a gas, so we can see there's no fast lair, there's no fast roach ward or anything like that. No fast tech, everything's looking normal. When it comes to this expansion, when it comes to this base and this map, I should emphasize, honestly, it looks pretty solid, right? We do have this area here outside of the natural, which can be accessible to an aggressing player. We have our triangular third base, which is a little bit more secure. We have our linear third base, which has one wider entrance and one wider opening. So we have our 4 base setup. Oh, as the Rax did end up floating here to hunt out an Overlord, no Overlord to be found. Because that floats, that actually means there's no add-on swap, so the tech lab on the starport is going to be delayed. Interesting. I'm curious, because of that delay, are we willing to... I mean, we have seen Kira make it up before. He's no stranger to that. Does he make it up here? There's Cloak. As Hellion does threaten the mineral line. Ling breaks in, Ling gets a full scouts. Confirms the Rax. Does not get far enough to scout the starport though. Yes, so it does not get full scout information. It's going to be 4:30 lair timing, so standard lair timing here at the Cham. Going for his own lair, going to double Eva chambers, this time embracing Ling main in a much more standard fashion. And this time should get away with it. Oh, my apologies. That is not a Baneling nest. That is going to be a Roach Warren hidden behind the natural. Okay. We're going for a more Roach heavy style. Canceling the Eva chambers. That makes more sense. Oh no, but the Hellions go for the dive. Ooh, there are no Lings. Yeah, no Lings in position. They go for the dive. They get a full scout of the Roach Warren. They confirm no Eva chambers either. Lings, they get choked up. And this is getting out of hand. This is getting out of hand here. 8 drone kills. Ay, critical damage. Oof. And Cham has a lot of catching up to do. As everything was scouted, his economy was punished. And that is a rough start. Bearing in mind that Hellions don't really scale too well into a longer game, so throwing them away is fine. We have extra Hellions being made, followed by the 5 rack setup. So it is going to be bio, it's going to be later stim and a later transition, which is why he had to make extra Hellions. Usually you want to be done. Usually you want to be done with Hellions. And do we cancel? No cancellation, but a Spire is on the way. This is a Hail Mary play. Basically, Cham, he knows that he's behind. Cham knows he's sustained some critical damage, so we're going for one big Gamba here. The Gambit's going for the Spire. Oh, that's going to be a cancel. Oh, God. No. It's going to be a second cancel. Okay, he kills as well, so 2 cancellations and a drone as well. Once again, it's a very rough setup here for Cham. At this point, of course, he's not going to make any roaches. He doesn't want to waste his gas. He wants to save it all for mutas. Do we cancel for a 3rd time? No shot. The queens are close enough this time. Oh no, they're off of creep. No! The queens, they're off of... Oh god! Rough pathing. Yeah, they both get dragged off of creep. A 3rd cancellation and kills the drone as well. Oh no. He just wants to expand, papi. Ay. I mean, cheeky moves by Cure, as he intentionally kind of like led the A move queens off of creep and into nowhere. Again, mutas are on the way. See the chat, curious? More like liquid cure, yes. Am I right? Este fractal cactal. Sure. You're an animal, pap. You're an animal. As thankfully, even though these Banshees are doing a lot of damage, and they've done a lot, 3 cancellations, 2 drone kills, and denying all this creep, they have not scouted the Spire. So mutas are amassing. Mutas are amassing. Speaking of, back at home, of course, there are no turrets. There's no reason for there to be turrets, but we do have a bio army. Not that... I was going to say not that many Marines, but at the same time, there shouldn't really be much on the ground to support the mutas. Here comes the main push. Hellbats morph in. Stim is done. And mutas are revealed. Yeah, mutas are revealed. Turrets are being thrown down as we speak. Cure, he now knows. And Cure, does he commit? I mean, again, there are no Banelings. I'm sure he's tempted. There are slow Banes to defend. Yeah, we're going to be collapsing in. Marines, they're set forward. There's not enough Marines. Yeah, not enough Marines here. The army is going to be cleaned up. Not enough anti-air. And behind this Cure, what does he have to defend? Okay, so he's setting up defensively here. Banshees are moving out across the map. Baneling speed isn't done yet, so I don't see him breaking this. Yeah, I don't see Cham breaking this position. The muta count is quite high. We have 17 meters, soon to be 21. Cancel the 4th base. Catching reinforcements. Nice movement so far. At the same time, Banshees, oh no, they've returned. Oh, he's gonna get the queen. These Banshees, they're a menace. Ah, no. Denies mining, takes down the queen. At the same time, mutas are deflected. Mining is denied as drones are rallying into their deaths. Oof. Yeah, there's that cancellation. Drilling claws on the way, switching into mass bio, making 11 marines at a time. That's a lot of marines. How many banelings are left? 10. There's gonna be these are the only banelings morphing in. Soon to be 12. Thankfully, there was a decent amount of creep here that will deter a cure. It does deter. Again, the creep is mainly just connecting the bases. Cure, he rotates towards the south side. Drilling claws is almost done. No Widow Mines with the main army, so that's fine. It doesn't matter. No Widow Mines yet. Cham, he should not collapse in. Ideally, Cham, he wants to wait for the tanks to unsiege. Wants to wait for them to unsiege and for Cure to overextend. Cham is maxed. He's got 0-0 upgrade, so his Ling Bane is that much weaker. Again, that's due to the early game. And there's gonna be a period in time where we have 2-2 upgrades for the Terran and 0-0 for the Zerg. That is brutal. 2-2 is almost done. Curie's moving in. Again, we're 6 seconds away. Still no mines. There's a lot of Ling Bane. And despite the lack of upgrades here, Banelings, they will clean this up. They clean up most of the army. Marines are on their own. Cham is holding. Yeah, Chammy does hold on. Where are the mines, by the way? There we go. I was like, yo, we got drilling claws quite some time ago. Like, mines would be amazing. Finally, they're going to be incorporated into the army. We have mines, we have Thors. 3-3 is beginning. Cure's looking to outscale. But Cham is holding. He's holding on, Pappy. I don't think Cure has the momentum to be this aggressive here, not after losing that fight. I say that. Kills the base. Oh, that was not a cancel. Kills the expansion. We have ultras on the horizon. Bold move. We'll see if we can get there. Yeah, Widow Mine's now being incorporated. Setting up the minefield. They've been collapsing in. Oh! Yeah, baits out the mine shields. Very nice control there by Cham. He baits out the mines. And collapsing on the Thor. Oh, not enough banelings left. Yeah, not enough banelings. Has to pull away, trying to bait the army into creep. Now's the time. Oh! No splits! Ah, he tries to split. Tries to spread. Banelings are chasing, and in the end, they will... Oh, they do graze the army. They graze the army. But in the end, Curie does maintain his position. Keeps on rallying, keeps on pushing. Chammy's running out of banelings. He's down to 3. 3 banelings left. And without banelings, Curie just in. Oh! Yeah, banelings, some of them do make it past. Yo, the changelings, Pappy. Let's go. It's getting close. Getting very close. Very messy. Last banelings, they're gonna be shut down. Lings are trickling in. We have more Widow Mines. Oh, the Thor. Oh my god. I'll pick up. Saves the Thor. And Cure, he's on it. He's broken the main army, pushing into the expansion. It was close. I'm impressed. I'm definitely impressed here that Cham held his own for as long as he did, despite the disastrous start to the game. He held his own. Oof. But he has been broken. The base goes down. The mineral end as well. Thor's are going to be trickling, sorry, Ultra's going to be trickling in, and bearing in mind that these are going to be 1-1 Ultras. They have 1-1 upgrades, no kindness plating, no Ultra speed, plus 2 carapace is about to finish, but the Ultras are lacking. Yeah, the Ultras are lacking, and the Ultras are going down. Down goes 1, 2, 3 Ultras that made out of paper, Pappy. GG gets called, and Cure, he will claim the series 2-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Cure, he will claim the series. But again, shout out to Cham. Cham, he made it to the ace match, and again, I do want to like emphasize this, I do want to reiterate this. Even though Cham had a very, very, very shaky start to this game, forced to cancel the expansions, losing workers, getting scouted, being forced into muta play, the mutas, they paid for themselves. Like, they were worth it. He was able to survive the early game, get into the mid game, had some decent fights as well. The problem though was that because of the lack of upgrades, because of that rough opener, his army just was lacking and it wasn't really scaling too well, so he was taking worse fights. He was holding, he was treading water, but he never quite was able to really threaten Cure and push across the map. Cure's bases were never really in any danger, as Cure was dictating the pace of that game, and with that, Cure, he did snowball out of control, did claim the series, and with that, Cure does advance on to the semifinals, and we're going to be following Cure over to the Korean server.